Hey guys, this is Martin for TechBlockPool, and today I'm bringing you an unboxing of the KEF LS50 wireless speakers. I'm very proud of this unboxing because perhaps if you've been following my channel, at the very beginning I unboxed the original KEF LS50s, their anniversary model. So let's not waste any time and open the box. I already cut it open, and the topper actually came open. At the top there is a styrofoam on cardboard paper, and we get a nice black cardboard box, and then we go directly to the two speakers. Let's take one out. And let's take the other one out. And I'll put the box away. There we go. Very gently take them out of their cover. Go. This is one. The other one. Wow. They are pretty heavy, I have to say. Each speaker weighs around 10 kilograms. The right speaker, which has the controls, weighs 10.2 kilograms. Let's take a look at what we have inside the box. Alright, here we have some paperwork, some manuals. Here we have the remote control. And below we have cables. So let's take a look at what kinds of cables we have. There's a USB cable for connecting the speakers to a computer. There is a gold-plated Cat6 cable for connecting one speaker to the other. There's a power cable for one speaker, power cable for another speaker, and lastly, a cable for connecting the speakers to your network or to your router. Let's take a close look at the remote. The remote has only a few buttons. It feels a little flimsy. We have the power button. We have the switch for changing inputs. We have the volume minus and plus. We have the mute button. There is a play and pause button and a track skip backwards and forwards. And there is a small battery compartment over here. Now let's take a closer look at the paperwork. We have the warranty information in many languages. We have the quick start guide, which again summarizes what we have included inside the box. We have the information about the back side of each speaker, and we have the top panel of the right speaker where we can find the controls. We have a schematic of how to connect each speaker to the power outlets, the on-off switch, and then the various kinds and ways how to connect these speakers to your network or to your devices. And lastly, the safety information booklet in many languages. Now let's take a close look at the speakers. You can see the front panel where we have the UniQ driver. The driver is the very same one as in the original KEF LS 50s. There is the Tangerine waveguide and the mid-bass driver. The Tangerine waveguide is responsible for better acoustic dispersion of the tweeter. When the speaker is connected to the power outlet, the power button is turned on. When we press it, the speaker makes a very nice sound. We can see the input selection and the volume up and down. Currently selected is the optical input. If we wait a little while, the Bluetooth button appears as well. When the speaker is turned off, again it makes a very pleasant sound. Here we can see the detail of the cooling grill at the back side of the speaker. Let's take a closer look at the back side of the speaker. On the left speaker, we can see the power plug, we can see the connection to the right speaker, and we can see a little balance switch. The back side of the right speaker is a little bit more busy. We have a connection to the power outlet, a connection for a potential subwoofer, a USB connection to the PC, an optical input. Now the PC input is limited to 24 bits and 192 kilohertz. The optical input is limited to 24 bits and 96 kilohertz. We have an analog input. We have a USB connection for the service. We have a Ethernet network connection. We have an Ethernet connection to the left speaker. We have a reset switch. And here we have two little buttons for changing the speaker equalization mode. There are 4 different kinds of equalization curves. One is for the desk, for the stand, close to a wall, and in free space. At the top left of the back side of each speaker, we have the bass reflex port. Alright guys, this has been an unboxing of the KEF LS 50 wireless speakers. Thank you for watching. Hey guys, this is Martin for Take a Look Pool, and today I'm bringing you a review of the KEF LS 50 wireless speakers. This is the black and blue version. Let's get started. Right from the start, I have to say that the LS50 wireless have an amazing sound. I believe this is due to the amazing combination that the KEF has put together of the amplifier and the DAC that is incorporated inside. If I was to compare the wireless to the non-wireless version, I think the biggest benefit that you get is that you don't have the struggle with pairing and matching with a good amplifier. From my experience, the LS50s, their passive version, requires a significant amount of power, and finding a good matching amplifier is not an easy task. So what KEF has done by making these active and putting inside a really powerful amplifier, they have taken away a lot of those problems that you might have. Another big advantage of the wireless version is that they have a DSP, which works in several ways for the speakers. One part is it also works as an active crossover with time alignment. The other part is that there are 4 different curves that you can set on the speaker right here in the back. You have a desk mode, a stand mode, a mode for close proximity to the wall, and a free space mode. And I have to say that these speakers can really scale up when you put them on a stand and set the settings for a stand, or they can scale down when you put them into the desk mode. This was a big problem with the original LS50s. For me, they never really worked well as a close range monitor. Their sound was always, I would say, too big, and they never felt like they could be tamed down for an easy listening session. It was always too much for that close proximity. Whereas with these, it's very simple. I would like to talk about a couple of quirks with these speakers. In the paperwork it says that they are compatible with a 5 GHz network, but during the setup process the speakers never saw my 5 GHz networks, only the 2.4. Also, when I connected them to my 2.4 GHz network and my device was connected to the 5 GHz part, I was never really able to find the speakers on that network. Go figure. Another bummer is the lack of Airplay. I think this is a slight oversight on KEF's part. It would have been amazing to be able to just open your iPhone and play music straight from Spotify, Tidal, or any of those other services. You can do this wirelessly through Bluetooth, but then again, you don't really want to lower the sound quality by that connection. What you can do to solve this issue is you can connect an Apple Airport Express router that has a optical output. You can connect it to the optical input on these speakers, or you can use an Apple TV 3rd generation that still has an optical Toslink output. Lastly, the way how volume control works on the speakers, I would not say it's the best one. There is no indication on the front of the speaker what is the volume setting, the current volume setting. So when you turn them on, you don't really know if they're going to play very loud or very quiet. And trust me, they can go really loud, up to 106 decibel, which is almost, or actually a little bit louder than the WLA Phantom Silver edition. I think they can go up to 105 decibel. Controlling the volume in close range at the top of the speaker proves to be a slight nuisance. It would have been really nice to have a dial, but then again, the front part of the speaker isn't really made for a front control with the dial. That would be a little bit ugly. Also, when you have the speakers connected to your computer via USB, they only go up to 24 bits, 192 kilohertz, which for some audiophiles who have got on the DSD bandwagon might prove a little problematic. The speakers also have a auto off function. This is really good for saving on your electricity bill. However, if you have them connected to a computer and they turn off, what happens is that they also disappear as an output device on that computer. This may prove to be a problem for some programs. It was not a problem on my iMac. It would always switch to the internal speakers or another output, but I can imagine that on a Windows computer this could be a little hassle. Alright, let's talk about the sound. The sound is incredible. It's punchy, it's dynamic. There is very high resolution in the treble. The vocals are really clear. They don't seem too pronounced to me, but what is really nice is that they are dead center, so also the driver matching is impeccable on these speakers. As I've mentioned previously, these speakers can really scale up to a larger room to give you that full-fledged, large, lifelike dynamic sound, or they can scale down to a small setup next to your computer. I think currently these speakers don't have a lot of competition. I wasn't able to compare them side by side to the WLA Phantoms, but from what I remember, the bass on those speakers sounded to me a little bloated, whereas the LS50s have that bass a little bit more defined, despite probably not going as low. The vocals are incredible. Whether it's female vocals or male vocals, it's just a joy to listen to these. Also sounds such as cymbals, they are really nicely rendered. I have not come across a genre that these speakers would not play well. If I was to describe the sound signature of the KEF LS50 wireless version, I would call it enthusiastic. These speakers render every kind of genre in a very enthusiastic manner. It did not prove detrimental even to small ensembles or small jazz groups. They always make the music very lively and very interesting to listen to. What you'll find yourself doing is skipping tracks because you will not have the patience to wait for how the next track will sound. Alright guys, thank you for watching. This has been the review of the KEF LS50 wireless speakers.